Hey guys, what's up? This is PRAHALAD Murlidharan, and today I'm going to teach you how to graph the trig function as part of my performance finals. So, sorry for a lot of the erasing stuff here. I just need to go over that, but I was kind of doing it and I made a mistake, but now everything's alright. Anyways, let's get back to this. So, I need to use this function, which is part of number 2 from my problem bank given by my teacher. So y equals to 4 cosine, then in brackets 2x minus pi, and then minus 1, which is out of the brackets. So I need to use this and find the period, amplitude, vertical shift, and phase shift, and then graph the function. So it's pretty easy. You basically first start with dividing this function into 4 pieces. So first we start with the whatever number is behind the cosine. It could be behind a cosine, behind a sine, behind a tangent, behind a cotangent, but it's the same. So amplitude is 4. It could be another number too, but right now it's 4. So basically it's because this is a wave, it would be like how far up it goes and how far down it goes. So this is the center. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where the highest point is. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where the lowest point is. My bad for getting a mistake, but yeah, that's basically it for amplitude. Now let's move over to period shift. Let's move over to period. So period is pretty easy. So you just take the number in front of x and then divide 2 pi over it. So 2 is over here, 2 pi over pi equals 2 pi. Now what can I do with period? So period is pretty easy. I just put pi because whatever whatever this number is, that's where the graph ends. So it's pi and negative pi, vice versa. And then for the phase shift, which is pretty easy but a little confusing, so it's pi over 2 to the right because this number divided by this number, right? But it's negative pi over 2. So you just change it to a positive pi over 2 because it's in the brackets. So if it's outside the brackets, it would be positive pi over 2. Simple algebra. So in that sense, positive is basically another symbol for right? Because this is the positive values. So yeah. So what you do when the phase shift is, you take it to the pi over 2 to the right, and then graph it over there. And that's where you kind of start from. So this is a positive 4. So that means it starts at a positive 4 and goes all the way down. And now for vertical shift, I went over this already, but the center starts 1, down 1 from the y-axis. So after you have all these values, all you need to do simply is go to the graph. Now we know the first you need to start from the vertical shift. So you go 1 down and then draw a marked line with 2 arrows if you want to. And then after that, what you do is the period, the phase shift. So just draw the phase shift, just draw a dotted line, and where they meet, where this dotted line and where this dotted line meets, that's where the x is. And then so you know that's where the graph kind of starts with, right? So kind of draw this. You start the hump here, and it's always at the top because not always, it's at the top because there's a positive 4, as I mentioned before. And then the period, as I mentioned before, and then this is always the half of what the period is, so that's pretty simple, pi over 2. Then amplitude, as I mentioned before, is the highest and the lowest point of the graph. So that's basically it. Thanks for watching this video. Signing off as PRAHALAD Murlidharan.